Is it going? Okay. I don't even know where to start here. Okay, so this creator in the AI TikTok shop niche just did $120,000 in one week, basically selling his AI TikTok shop system to beginners, okay? And no, he didn't run like any ads, or he didn't just get like blessed by the algorithm. And I know this because I've literally done this for like 13 different times across 13 different channels, right? So I know this shit is predictable, but I literally just paid over $10,000 recently for a network so that I can license these same systems being used for guys like Harry's offer here. And in this network, I saw that my friend went and ran these same systems basically on Harry's offer here and generated $93,000 in 7 days in cash collected and $120,000 in revenue. Shout out to SFRB LLC, by the way. But since I ran these same systems for my client Serge here, I know this shit is predictable. Because like with him, we went and did $51,000 in the same AI niche, pretty much from scratch. And I'm about to show you like everything these offers did in order to do this, and like basically selling their AI TikTok shop system to beginners. But first I want to explain why 96.92% of TikTok shops at $5,000 to $10,000 a month never hit 50K a month. And no, this isn't some statistic I just pulled out of my ass or anything like that. This is literally a statistic from the world's biggest search engine combined with TikTok. Basically what Gemini did was go and find data from TikTok to see what shops were doing nowadays. And around 34.2% of TikTok shops are actually like posting content, currently driving traffic to their pages and everything like that, are already at $5,000 to $10,000 a month in revenue. So this is a great business model to start, which is why it sells so much, right? So this is approximately like 73,000 businesses right now. But there's only 0.48% of people hitting 50K a month with this shit right now. So this means like this business is great for selling people and it's great for getting people to that first point. But after that, like if you've been like trying to scale TikTok shop, it is not your fault, okay? I'm gonna show you some crazy shit here, but if we do the math on this, right? If 2,000 people out of the 73,000 people that are already at 10K a month, right? So these people on average are at 7.5K a month. So they're not beginners. Like they actually take action. They actually did the stuff to get their business to the point they're at right now. Only 2,000 of those people were able to scale to 50K a month, okay? That's less than 3%. So 3 out of every 100 TikTok shops already at like 7.5K a month average hit 50K a month. That's mind blowing. And these are all the same people saying like, oh, all it takes is just scaling my operations on AI TikTok shop. All it takes, I am destined to hit 50K a month with TikTok shop. I will work 10 to 12 hours a day to hit 50K a month in the next 6 months with my AI TikTok shop. Like they all think the same thing as probably you watching this, right? And only 3% of these people fucking hit it. What the fuck is going on here? Like that you might be wondering, like, why are all these people going and filming this content on like AI TikTok shop, right? So how to use VO3 AI on TikTok shop. I tried TikTok shop affiliate. You know, we made 92K from TikTok AI videos, right? All these videos, why are they making them? Obviously, you probably already have a good reason why, right? These guys are all selling coaching programs. But why are so many people choosing to spend more time on selling a coaching program and scaling that, rather than scaling the business that they're successful in the first place? Something people need to remind themselves more often about business is thin scaling in marketing versus thick scaling. So I can show this, you know, in the stance of TikTok shop here, whether you're doing like the affiliate model or you're actually selling the products on TikTok, because this is very important and people don't understand this, right? So in marketing, there's thin versus thick scaling, right? So when you're thin scaling, your marketing is obviously pushing for more revenue, but your fulfillment is pushing for the exact opposite. The more fulfillment, like your fulfillment and your marketing don't work together. And so they kind of like conflict with each other. And it's like hard to move the needle forward. Like your business doesn't want you to scale. Like what a sin that is, right? Like you can probably just think in your own like situation, like what kind of business is that? Like we want to be in business where they both work together, right? And this brings me to thick scaling. This is what it is. When your margins open up, business gets easier the more you do it, which is something not a lot of people, you know, doing TikTok shop get to experience, which is a sin. But you know, this is why I'm showing you this today. And let me break this down, right? So people doing thin scaling with TikTok shop, like let's say they started at like 25, 35% margin if they're actually selling products, and then if they're doing like the actual affiliate, I mean like, you know, if you're generating a bunch of revenue and only taking a very small cut of that because you're marketing, is that a real business, or are you just, you know, doing like free trial marketing at the end of the day? You know what I mean? It's like in video games, right? I don't want to like, I think the TikTok shop affiliate model is great for beginners, but to scale, it's like, think of it. When you're on like a free trial on like a video game, or even like software you use to do day to day, like imagine like what's the free trial version of Miro here, for example, like this software that I'm using to do this. The free trial, you can only have like 3 projects or whatever. I remember because I used to have it for the longest time. Basically, you can only have like 3 projects open, and you can only like complete 3 projects. So the next time you like go to make a new project, like you couldn't, it wouldn't allow you, or it would like shut off your old project. That's what like TikTok Shop affiliate is. It's like you're generating all this revenue. It's like you might as well do it for yourself at a certain point. You know what I mean? Instead of for other people. But anyway, if let's say you're at 10K a month, you're hitting like 25, 35% margins, 3K a month profit. In order to do this, you have to sell around 500 units, and this usually takes 8 hours between your time, and if you have a team, your team's time as well. Well, when you scale, you'll notice a pattern here. When we hit 25K a month, 20 to 28% margin, so they get a little bit slimmer, but we're delivering the same units, and our hours just doubled when we pretty much almost just doubled our revenue for the month. And same with when you're at 50K a month, right? 50K a month, 2,000 units, 33 hours, 9K a month profit, 15 to 22% margin. 100K a month, 12 to 18% margin, 4,000 units, 6 hours, 15K a month profit. Imagine being able to say, oh, I generated $100,000 this month, and then being only able to collect 15,000 of that. It's like, what is that? What are you gonna scale to $1 million a month? Like, am I speaking truth here or what, right? But with thick scaling, it's like you get to generate your own revenue. It's like business, but on like the full trial version, and it's cheaper, right? So, okay, we have a 10K a month info business here, for example. So info is basically like coaching programs, etc. So at 10K a month in an information business, when you're basically just selling like coaching programs, in this instance, like in the instance of Harry, he's just selling a system to beginners starting TikTok Shop and whatnot with AI. Well, all you really need is, CAC costs, which are like your appointment setters, your closers, and like, to fulfill, I mean, you're just giving away information, but we'll talk about that in a second. So at 10K a month, I mean, you only need to deliver 4 units, 4 units at $3,000 up front when you're first starting out. That's 12K a month. That's a little bit over, 10K a month. So that's all you really need to do. And then let's say it's going to be 6 months weekly one-on-one calls. Well, that's going to take 24 hours of your time out of 6 months. So 3K for 24 hours, you go and split that up for your hourly cost. I mean, it's not the best starting out, especially if you have high standards for yourself, but it's a good start, right? So it's going to cost you like 96 hours in 6 months to deliver 4 units, and you don't have to deal with a shit ton of refunds or like a shit ton of people, right? Because you get to pre-qualify and whatnot. 25K a month, we're seeing similar numbers, still 70-85% margins, so margins don't stay the same, or margins stay the same. But now you can afford to go charge higher, because guess what you have at 25K a month that you don't have at 10K a month? You have leverage. Because you get the user results that your first students got and go use it on the front end. So now you can charge higher. Now there's more likelihood of achievement for your strategy or your coaching program at the end of the day. So now we only have to deliver 5 units in order to make 25K a month, 100 to 120 hours, similar to what we saw last month. But we'll see an interesting trend here. 50K a month, 9 units, 108 hours. 100K a month, 17 units, 35 hours. Let's break this down, okay? So the margins are all staying the same across the board. Here, we're still profiting 38,000 from 50, 100K a month, 77K. That's 77% margin on average, right? But you'll see something align here, right? Sometimes when you're marketing to B2C, it's not about charging more, it's just about giving less for your strategy because it actually works. Because in order to deliver the model, usually when you're picking your model, you don't pick it because you think this is what they need in order to get to the place that they need. Because if you just sold a course, like literally just modules in your program, you wouldn't need to do one-on-one coaching because that's all they need, right? So it's based on the perception of what they think of what like basically you're selling. So if you go to someone and say, I'm going to teach you how to get a 10K a month TikTok shop, but I'm going to do it through a course, you're going to watch modules, then there's less likelihood of achievement for them and them seeing that they can succeed with that, rather than, okay, I'm going to hop on Zoom one-on-one with you every single week and teach you how to do that. There's more personalization in the first one, you know what I mean? So the delivery model is where the leverage is long-term, but you get to choose it based on how good your marketing is, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So here, let's say instead we decide to do bi-weekly calls, so that's only 12 hours, like literally cutting the hours in half instead of doing weekly calls, one-on-one calls with our students. We decided to do bi-weekly, charge the same amount. Then we only have to deliver 108 hours to almost double our units. So there's leverage there because obviously we all know as entrepreneurs, time is money, money is time. And here, let's say we want to switch to a group coaching model where it's only going to take 2 hours of our 2 hours overtime every single week, because we're gonna have 2 group coaching calls, 20 people fit in there, you're answering everybody's questions, people are picking up on certain questions that everybody else is asking, and maybe they have the same questions as well. So it's just one big hour-long Zoom call with a bunch of people, with the founder there who's actually helping, and ideas are circling, things are being learned, etc., etc. Well, that's only going to take 2 hours of your time, which is why you can deliver 17 hours and 35 units. Therefore, the fulfillment works with the marketing, because the better the fulfillment is, the better leverage model you can choose to deliver what you need to do, instead of making a fucking headache for yourself when you scale to 100K per month. Like this clicking, okay. Because if we look at the logistics of it, it's like, if we look at the CAC, well, the CAC between both businesses selling products on, TikTok, for example, versus, selling info products, it's relatively the same. For info products, okay, you're always going to have the CAC of, hiring closers on commission and hiring setters and whatnot. And for this, you're always going to have the CAC of either running your own affiliate, so going and playing for Clippers or doing whatever to go and spread your TikTok shop product, or whether you're doing ads or whether you're doing it yourself. It's always a cost, right? But the difference is in the cost of fulfillment. Because here, the cost of fulfillment is literally a decaying graph, because the more you scale, the more headaches you're gonna have, the more refunds you're gonna have to count, the more, it's just a mess all over the place. Because if we look and we remember how much units we have to deliver in order to scale to 100K per month, it's 4,000. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on when you have to deliver however many products to 4,000 fucking people. You see, as opposed to here, we have to deliver it 17 times, and we get to pre-qualify, which the TikTok shop doesn't get to do. So if we go and take a look at the cost of fulfillment for the info products, it gets better over time. Because like I said before, the fulfillment and the marketing work together, which is why everybody is doing this right now, and everybody is doing it during the perfect time right now. I wish I could show you all the data, but literally, AI TikTok shop is popping off right now. You go do research on YouTube. Every video, thousands of views, when the rest of their videos are a couple hundred, right? This is why, because they understand this. It's easy money. Anyway, if we go and look at both of these on the graph, it's clear, right? One, you have leverage long term. One, you lose money long term, either through your time or through actual capital you have to pay. Because this is a great business model when you're starting out, which is why it's so sellable as well. Because someone on YouTube convinced you, some Eman Gadzi guy, some drop servicing guy, convinced you that if you can sell someone else's product and have someone deliver for you, so you don't have to worry about the bullshit of that, then you can do it. But if you're doing an affiliate model, you're stuck in free trial mode. And if you're actually delivering products, you're dealing with headaches for the rest of your fucking life. As long as, if you want to make money, you actually, want to scale that thing, then it's going to look like hell over time. You know what I mean? Because for selling products, the perceived value is dependent on the model. You can't go to someone and show them a product and be like, I'm going to show you how the product works on a one-on-one Zoom call. It doesn't work that way. You can't show them, I'm going to show you how this product works in a group call. It doesn't work that way. The only way for them to get value from your product is for it to be in their hand. So you're fucked. Because that's that's what is causing problems here. So hopefully this is clicking, right? Like I said, you can't deliver in a weekly Zoom call. You can't deliver in one. It has to be in their hand. But this is the thing that's causing the problem. Whereas when we're selling information, the delivery model is dependent on the perceived value. But teaching beginners, you can change the delivery model based on how your leads perceive value. Meaning, good perceived value means the best delivery model, right? So if people thought your program was amazing, you just had the best marketing, best sales, whatever, then you can just choose whatever the highest leverage delivery model is for you. And that I'm going to talk about that in a second. But if you're first starting out and nobody really knows about your product, nobody really trusts it, you still have to build that trust over time, well, you're probably going to have to pick a slightly worse delivery model. But at least it's not going to have to be delivering products in people's hands. That is just unreal, right? And your perceived value depends on how good your marketing is, which is what I mentioned before, which, obviously I'll show you how to do over here in a second. But with this, you can choose whatever delivery model you want. Starting out, you're probably going to want to do one-on-one remote. This is high level done with you. This is the least leverageable, but the highest likelihood of achievement. So you're going to be able to get people in the program a lot easier than if you were to sell a course right off the bat. And then you move down a list for the more leverageable models. Let's say Tony Robbins, for example. He's not hopping on one-on-one calls with people. At least if they're not paying him 50 grand or 100 grand or whatever his hour's worth, they're not paying him that money. They're basically going and consuming his course over modules or whatever, because he's been selling info products for the past 10 years. So people trust him and people like him, and he has a lot of results and he's got leverage over time. So a lot of people also don't understand this. When you're selling products, 80% of your effort that you're putting in right now to AI TikTok Shop, it only makes you 20% of the profit. Whereas when you're selling something like information, 20% of my and my clients' efforts makes us 80% of the profit, because you're putting your effort and money into rented revenue, and I'm putting my effort and money into compounding revenue. You're selling physical products while I am selling expensive transformations. You're making 28 short form videos to make $8,000 in revenue, and me and my clients are making 2 long form videos on YouTube to make $8,000 in revenue. You're delivering 400 units at $20 while I'm delivering 2 units at $4,000. You paid $3,000 for affiliates, $2,000 on your cost of delivering the goods to make $2,000 profit at a 25% profit margin, while I pay my sales team $2,400 in commissions to make $6,000 profit for 70% profit. By day 30, your short film videos expire. They hit that little I don't even know what to call it. It just dies, it just hits one of these, right? Well, my YouTube videos start compounding after 30 days because the YouTube algorithm just starts picking up on it. You're dealing with 10 refund requests right now because you had to deliver 4,000 people, and I pre-qualified all my customers before they even spoke to sales. You're ready to keep running on your hamster wheel, the one you thought you got away from. Well, my first 2 long form videos made me another $8,000, totaling $16,000 profit because my videos just started compounding, just started getting more traffic, and that's that. And if we go look at these 2 long term, well, this is selling products, and you got these ebbs and flows and some good days, some bad days, and it's pretty much just all over the place. And like I said before, as soon as your videos stop performing, you pretty much need to do a bunch of volume in order to get some consistent results, which takes a lot of money and time. Whereas when you post at YouTube and you're good at YouTube, because if you're not good at YouTube, it'll just be the same thing. It'll just be your videos go and then they just flop, right? Then you get to build this long term because you're constantly on a production wheel because your organic reels and ads stop performing after 7 days, like I just mentioned. You're switching out products after the hype dies out. So you're constantly switching between this thing you're selling, this product you're selling, blah, blah, blah. There's no time to build reputation there. You're on a marketing wheel that's constantly demanding your time and money. You're renting revenue that doesn't build anything long-term and calling it a business. And your marketing costs more the bigger you get. You're building a business that needs you more every day, not less every day, right? Whereas when you're selling information and selling people coaching programs on what you're doing, your YouTube videos grow bigger the longer they're on the platform. I'm able to build and innovate off one info offer that gets easier to sell the more customer data I get from my marketing because I'm selling one product. I own attention that compounds while my team focuses on sales and fulfillment. My marketing time and money costs less the bigger I get, and I'm building a business that needs me less every day. So if you're kind of on the edge of selling your coaching program or actually going and implementing the stuff I'm talking about today, let me show you how these systems work. Basically, I'll just give you the brief rundown on what you actually need to do in order to sell coaching programs. So how to replicate Harry's 100K a month selling your AI TikTok shop strategy to beginners, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do is identify a clear ICP, so ideal customer profile, who would pay $3,000 to $10,000 for your help, okay? They must have a big enough pain to buy, urgency to solve their problem right now, enough money to invest, and a place to contact them. So for example, for my client Serge here, what we did was actually put his offer into a Claude document. That way any marketing tools or anything we're doing with the copywriting, Claude knows exactly what we're doing and building those content text profiles. But for example, Serge is targeting people from 18 to 44. So, 85 to 90% are usually 18 to 28 because Serge is quite young himself. He's only targeting men in locations, US, Canada, high GDP or high GDP, European countries, Switzerland, Germany, since he's from Europe, and he'll be able to relate to those people as well. And those people also have money because they're not from third world countries. They're doing below $5,000 a month in recurring revenue from their job or apprenticeship, or maybe they're working a job in college, etc. And their top 5 interests are psychology and human connection, predicting the future, and positioning themselves advantageously, sports, and video games. So the reason why Serge's offer works so well is because he's targeting a big enough pain to buy. These people aren't in pain because they have $3 in the bank account necessarily, especially if they have money coming in, right? They're gonna have more money in their bank account, because if they didn't, we wouldn't be targeting this ICP because they don't have money. But they have a big enough problem to buy because they're stuck in like their college job. They're stuck like working a 9 to 5 or like whatever the situation is that they need to put themselves through in order to make money. And they just want to transition sort of how much they're making now, make more in an AI agency, which is what Surge sells, in time freedom and location freedom. So traveling the world, going to places like Dubai, Miami, anywhere in the US, or just like traveling abroad, and pretty much being able to work when they want. They can work at the airport, they can work at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. like me if they wanted to, or they can just do their regular hours from what they were doing. But the thing is, they're buying freedom at the end of the day, right? They have urgency to solve their problem right now because since they're young, they're not going to be able to make decisions like this when they're older, when they already have kids, when they have responsibilities and things to take care of. So they feel that pressure, or maybe they're in college and maybe they've got a few years left. We're going and targeting that demographic because we know how profitable their urgency is. They have enough money because they already work a job, and we have a place to contact them because they live in the 21st century and they weren't born in 1914 when World War I existed. But the reason this works for this ICP and a B2C audience is because there's like a clear ROI for them. There's no like guessing of like, oh, I don't see the ROI in this. It's like we're basically saying, hey, put down $50, $100 for Surge's offer here, and we're gonna go make you consistently $20,000 a month if you actually put the effort in. Number 2, map their pains, build your solution, and pre-handle objections, okay? So if we're just going over some brief pain points from Surge's program here, number 1, paralyzing unclarity. They have no idea what niche to pick, what offer to run, what acquisition channel to use, or what scripts to follow. And it's the same with TikTok Shop, right? They're not going to know who to hire for affiliates, if they should even be doing an affiliate model, should they be doing a different type of, TikTok Shop model or whatever. And they basically want your personalized one-to-one, especially if they fuck with you and they really like, watching your videos and they really have like a parasocial relationship with you. They're going to want to know how you did it, especially if you and your students are successful. It's like it feels like there's something that they're always missing, if that makes sense. And you got to be the person that's taking their hand as their friend and basically helping them. Second, time and money burning with 0 results. So they're probably already doing some stuff with TikTok Shop right now. Maybe they've tried to market a few products. Maybe they grabbed a few affiliate links and whatnot, and they just don't know how to go viral. They don't know how to post volume at low cost. They don't know how to produce quickly, or whatever the value prop is. Basically, there's going to be things there which they've already tried. They've already built a pain of long term because they've already went and tried to do it, and they haven't just speculated and they're not thinking oh, I can just do this by myself, because they're currently doing it themselves and it's not working, which is best case scenario. Humiliation effect. So this kind of plays in urgency where a lot of people are told their friends they're going to do this XYZ, I'm going to be making this much amount of money, and they tried the thing and it's not working, so they need a little bit extra advice to get there quickly, right? And they don't want to have to learn those lessons themselves. The real transformation we're making, so before they're waking up at 6 a.m., dreading another day at their job or university they hate, spending half their paycheck on a flat they resent, watching YouTube videos about online business for 3 hours every night, but making 0 progress, friends telling them to give up, family calling it a scam. All these things basically bring the pressure into them. We're basically relieving that pressure, and so they wake up in their dream state, the one they always told people they would. After waking up when they want, running a predictable business that sounds sophisticated, building the best relationships with their clients, whatever they actually wanted from our program. Some objections we can pre-handle in the content and via sales and marketing as well. So how fast can I close clients? What makes you different from other AI mentorships, etc. And basically, you got to know, based on how much success your program has, how well your marketing is, etc., how to market your product that's going to bring in the highest perceived likelihood of achievement from the people watching your content, and that's going to be the best, highest leverageable model for you to deliver. So, for example, the best trading guys or the best crypto guys in the space who have very high perception of their program and a good reputation, they're able to get away with just selling a community, because that community, for example, is going to tell them what coins or what crypto meme coins to hop into. And that's where the value is. That's where the actual money is made. And it requires almost none other time, since all they have to do is just make sure there's nothing crazy going on in the chat and let the chat run itself, since there's very high, value crypto guys in there who give them signaling and whatnot. Let's say it's a more hands-on thing where it's like TikTok Shop and one-on-one. Well, you're probably going to want to do something one-on-one, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of proof, because this increases the perception of your program as well, like with more of a personalized solution that they would go to you for, rather than your competitors, for example, which have a ton of students in a program and they're not able to do that. And then you basically want to show yourself doing these things to build desire. You don't want to be the guy that's saying, oh, do this, do this, do this. It doesn't actually have the results of like the desire that they actually wanted in the first place. So for example, here's my client Max. We do a lot of stuff with his YouTube and whatnot, and Max is very good at positioning himself to build desire in what his ICP actually wants. See, I didn't want to just show you a TikTok Shop example, because then you would just copy. But for example, Max targets a B2B audience. So business to business. So he sells to business owners. So he's not on here flexing Lamborghinis or watches and a bunch of this crazy stuff, because he knows that's not what his ICP wants. His ICP wants to connect with good people. We go over to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? They want to work with the best people. They want to generate the best amount of money, which is hitting most of the esteem, and they want to become the best versions of themselves. So they're like kind of out of that B2C, like, oh, I just want to flex a Lamborghini, make 10K a month, and live in a Miami high-rise penthouse, right? They're out of that stage. So what does Max do in his content, right? And you can do the same thing on YouTube, as whether it's like as simple as filming in a location your ICP wants to be in and building that desire. But the way Max does it is through showing himself being in the center of these people who have high status, make a lot of money, just entered the info space and already a high status figure and an industry leader. And, for example, here becoming a very important person by showing himself, filming himself, meaning why is he so important to film himself? Because he's an authority. Here, okay, maybe we've got like the watch guy from Miami who's given all these, core sellers watch and whatnot. And we've got, him working in his dream state. Like everything I basically just went over here, Max is very good at doing as well. Not in, oh, I'm just going to flex my Lambo and see what happens, but in a very strategic way, which not a lot of people understand. Next, you're going to want to know how to generate buyers, especially if you're watching right now and you don't have much of an audience. Or if you already have an audience, this would probably just be better for you anyway to get even more of an audience, so you can sell to more people at the end of the day. But what you're going to want to do is sell YouTube content and basically film the YouTube content and run this 20 to 30 day content priming period. So this is a period where you're actually going to generate the leads which you're going to sell to on the launch, because you can't do a launch if you have nobody to launch to. It's very important that you actually have people that can buy your shit before you do it. So you do that through creating YouTube videos. For example, like we hopped into Serge's offer right here. We went and generated him a ton of buyers with this first video, a ton of buyers with the second video. This is a 30-minute VSL in disguise that they didn't even realize that they were being sold to, but then we did a launch off it, right? And what you want to do is record 75% top of funnel content and 25% middle of funnel content during this time. Top of funnel content to attract exactly who you want. Middle of funnel content to indoctrinate, pre-frame, and build trust and everything, and show results with the people that you're bringing in, and also your current audience as well. You want to put up community posts, building authority for yourself, building desire as to what they actually want to get, introducing your own unique mechanism, etc. This is a coaching. So for example, here's it's a simple daily newsletter in a WAP I've seen recently, where it's just him talking about some stuff before he launched, and I know exactly what he's doing, right? And you can do this through Discord, you can do this through WAP, but basically, like, you want to give an introduction of like, okay, what this is, like, this is free, just before you launch the program, just giving some free sauce away. You want to make sure you have obviously like probably a kit, email sequence going for new people opting into that program as well, and then you also just want to be recording a ton of top of funnel and middle funnel content, so you can do this through the free community, connecting people in there, connecting with new people, establishing authority, doing all that good stuff, pre-qualifications, basically gathering more data before the launch, and email sequences and whatnot. And then what you're going to want to do after that is follow a 14-day launch sequence, which I'm going to show you how in a second it's actually correct. But you're basically just applying the Zeigarnik effect here to use scarcity and urgency in a non-salesy way to capture your first clients. So This is where you're going to use the Whisper Tea 14-day launch strategy, which I'll show you in a second. You're basically going to open the cart for a 3 to 7K mentorship. Primary objective for this is to collect as much data as possible on what your ISP actually wants, what are their pains, what are their objections, etc., so you can use it in the marketing in the following months. But it's really just to validate the offer and make sure your offer works and your unique mechanism actually sells and whatnot. So for example, this is a waitlist that we ran for one of our clients. We got 1,200 submissions, like a ton of people just telling us everything about them, what their actual problem is, things about them, like what's your current monthly income, to get a gauge of like if our leads are broke or not, right? And then after you launch, this is where you're gonna make like the most of the money your first time, and then you basically just want to turn that launch, whether you did like a webinar or whatnot, which I'm going to talk about how to actually apply like the launch in a second. You want to basically turn this into an evergreen model that you can just set up once and it continues to generate and convert leads on a daily basis. So what is this launch strategy, right? How do you get your first clients to actually buy? Like, what's the process of that? So I'm going to be, straight up here. This isn't my strategy. This is actually part of what was in the SOPs. Shout out to Jace England for, ripping and showing me this launch strategy. But basically, I did this for a client not too long ago. We have an NDA signed for him, so I can't exactly show you who it was, but it absolutely printed, right? And I'm going to go show you how to run this and how we kind of ran it for him, right? So basically, you obviously have your traffic sources here, Instagram, YouTube, and SMS, and you also have email as well. But basically, what you want to do is make sure you have traffic sources. For him, we were doing some meta retargeting for his current audience as well. And then what we did for the first 1 to 7 days of this launch is just whisper and push people to a wait list. So we're whispering, we're saying things like something big is coming soon. We've been working on something huge behind the scenes. Waitlist spots open soon. Nobody knows what's going on. It's kind of like this mysterious thing that's kind of up in the air right now. And then at the end, like near day 7, we're actually launching the waitlist and we're actually getting people to fill it out and, building urgency and everything like that. So first thing we do is get people onto a Typeform waitlist, name, email, phone, biz info, bunch of info and data from them, get them into like a Telegram or something like a WAP community, or just get to them. It could even be as simple as like an Instagram broadcast channel or any type of group chat, either on like WhatsApp or whatnot, that you can basically connect everybody in one place just to get them updates, reminders, use scarcity, urgency, proof cadences, etc. And you basically just want to do exactly what I said, like daily nurture, value of reciprocity, basically just showing a ton of proof for your unique mechanism and your AI TikTok shop model. And you're going to have setters in here as well that are going to be prepared before the launch, that are basically just going to do some like DMs by day 5 to 7, etc. Next, you're going to want to go into phase 2, which is when you're going to give the official announcement between days 8 and 10 as to what you're actually doing with this like waitlist thing. So you're going to be open, you're going to be like, yo, I'm launching this coaching program. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to work with me, and this is going to be an opportunity here. So make sure you don't miss out on March 25th, for example. And then you're basically going to give the live announcement. You're not releasing anything yet. For him, we are specifically releasing a 5-hour course for wholesaling, which is what his business model was. And then basically just giving him like an offer tease, and basically saying like, hey, like, this thing is coming, like, don't miss it, don't miss March 25th, etc. And then getting these people into the Telegram group last minute. If there's anybody that hasn't gotten in, close it by day 13. We're pushing tons of email and SMS sequences to a live webinar, which I'm going to explain here in a second. And setters are all pushing all the DMs they've been doing and everything to this live webinar as well, where we're going to go over everything. So basically, a live webinar is like a 45 to 90 minute session where you're live on Zoom with a bunch of your leads that have signed up to the waitlist. And this is where you're first going to like launch your coaching program and allow people to go click a link, fill out an application, etc., to go and apply for it, so we can get them on the calendar and close them, so the coach can close them. But in this live webinar, you're basically just going to use Hulk and authority to make sure everybody on the webinar knows who you are and why you're so good at the thing you do. You're going to give some actual value and proof that they can walk away from, just so they know you weren't just there to pitch, you were actually there to give some value about what you're doing. You want to give an offer reveal and basically like stack all the value of like what your program is and basically just like explain what the program is on the webinar. And then you're going to give it to, CTA to it, as well as a fast action bonus for those who were there early and actually showed up to the webinar. So this might be $1,000 off. This might be like, XYZ, you get this extra thing with the program, etc. And then after the webinar, you're basically just going and pushing the same thing on your socials. So let's say on YouTube community post, you're gonna be like, hey, like we just launched this thing, like sorry you didn't make it to the webinar. If you didn't, make sure you go fill this out if you wanted to one-on-one coaching with me, etc. Going and putting in YouTube's descriptions as soon as you launch, and basically getting everybody to an application form. From the application form, they can book a call. If they book a call, the setters are gonna go pre-qualify them, etc. If they show to the meeting because they were qualified, then we're gonna try to close them on a deal, which was a $3,000 to $7,000 info product. And the reason why we're doing this is because people react differently when it's scarcity and urgency. They start taking action that they've never really taken with you before, because there's only limited spots. Like let's say 50 spots, we're only opening 50 one-on-one spots for this. Get in or get out. Like you won't have a chance too soon, and they actually start taking action if they actually wanted to work with you, right? So how a high ticket sales actually occur. So like, where do they need to go? Like, what is a funnel? Like, what is all this stuff, right? And you've probably seen one of these before, but I'm just going to break down the full logistics of it. So you'll see one of these YouTube videos here usually, and then there'll be a link in the description to basically go and apply and like hit the landing page, so they can show you the VSL or this fake VSL. This is what you'll be hit with. You'll be hit with a headline that attracts you. You go to watch the video. You have to click this and fill out your information. While there's a bunch of student results there before, so you can see, so watching this video is actually worth it. You go fill out your name, your email, your phone number, etc. Go check the boxes for confirmation, and then go and watch the actual VSL, which Indoctrinates You sells you. It's a video sales letter basically, so it's meant to sell you. If you want on the program, you go and fill out this application page. There's more student results here in case you want to see that what they're actually doing is legit and everything like that. If you qualify for their form, like there's a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of DQs and whatnot that I can't show you in here because I won't have enough time in this video, but basically, if you're qualified through like the prerequisites that they set for you to be qualified based on the answers you give, then you'll be able to go and book a time to go and speak with their team. You'll be entered into like what's called a CRM, which is basically, this is one of our CRMs for our client right now. I actually shouldn't be showing that part, but basically just shows a pipeline of like, for example, opt-ins, like this type of opt-in, that type of opt-in. Okay, we got to follow up with these leads, and basically just a pipeline of a bunch of different stages, which pushes you further along to actually making a sale. Setters will go in and call you right after, like usually 5 minutes after you go and like either book a call or fill out an application. They'll go pre-qualify you a bit, pre-frame some objections, make sure you're actually going to show up to the call, build a little bit of rapport with you, connect you to the closer in the group chat using one of these scripts based on where you're at in the funnel. Closer will hop on the call with you, runs some discovery, pre-frames objections, builds rapport, pitches the price, handles objections, and then collects the payment at the end of the day if they close them. So usually this takes around 30 to 50 days minimum to do the content priming if you don't already have an organic audience and you need to do that. Good thing is that like this niche is really popping right now, so if you make some content which is structured properly and is actually a good video and whatnot, using proven VSL structures, you will be able to generate traffic really fast, which is why I'm targeting this niche right now. And post content priming, if you already have an audience, whatnot, is basically just 25 to 30 days of like making sure we got the offer set up, the deliverables, running the actual Whispertees launch strategy, etc. So if you've watched this far in the video, then you're not a retard, so I can just be upfront with you. What I do is go and do everything for your content, so really all you need to do is film, including like all the post-production, all the pre-production, if you don't already have an audience. Go and build all this stuff for your business basically. So go build the funnels, go hire the sales team, recruit for them, manage them, build the setter scripts, install tracking dashboards for the closers, EODs, setter EODs, like a bunch of stuff, right? I basically just go do everything for your coaching program and take a revenue share of what you do. So let's say, we're going to launch. I need you to record content. I need you to like show up on the webinar and go through the webinar that we've made for you and whatnot. And then all you need to do is actually coach the students actually in your program and get them good results so we can continue to market for them. And in turn, I take between like 15 to 30% of your revenue that we generate during the launch, for example. So if this sounds kind of interesting to you, if you're looking at this and you're like, okay, well, I've been wanting to start this for a while. This is the time. Maybe I should actually start taking action on this. And you don't want to have to figure all this shit out by yourself because it's a lot. then you can go DM me the word launch on Instagram. My Instagram is the first link in the description. Don't go and apply if you're an idiot and you don't have any results with AI TikTok Shop, or you're not going to put it into action. And I'll see if you qualify, because I don't take calls with everybody. But yeah,